In order to reach the UN's climate goals, carbon capture must increase at least 100-fold in the next 30 years. This equates to approximately 5.6 billion tons of CO2, which is almost the same as the world's total oil production. This will require enormous investments in the future. There are a few well-established carbon capture technologies today. They utilize well-known chemical processes that has been used for many, many years. However, there are still concerns for some of these processes in terms of their byproducts that can potentially be both toxic and dangerous to handle. Most of these issues can be handled, but at a cost and at what risk? At CO2 Capsol, we utilize the Benfield process. In other words, we use hot potassium carbonate, which is well known in the industry as an efficient way to capture carbon in a very environmentally friendly way. Hot potassium carbonate is a salt. In our process, we use the hot potassium carbonate as a solvent where we increase the partial pressure of CO2 in the absorber, and the hot potassium carbonate in this process turns into potassium bicarbonate. In other words, baking soda. When we strip it, like you when you bake bread with the baking soda, we introduce heat, like in an oven, where the carbon is released and the bicarbonate turns back into potassium carbonate. Impurities in the flue gas can react with the hot potassium carbonate, forming stable salts. These impurities can be easily filtered out of the solution and has no environmental impact. Potassium carbonate is a well-known chemical. It is used in the food industry, and for the application of carbon capture, it is very suitable for use in urban areas or other environmental sensitive areas where there might be concerns about any kind of byproducts being produced. Potassium carbonate itself only forms stable salts as it potentially degrades, and these salts are easily filtered out and are non-volatile. At CO2 Capsol, we specialize in technologies that utilize hot potassium carbonate in an energy efficient and environmentally friendly way to capture carbon from many industrial processes, from flue gases and from other sources. We believe, like most of our clients, that it is key for our future that we develop these kind of technologies and implement them properly in order to reduce our footprint on the environment. Please feel free to reach out to us, and we will do our best to answer any questions that you may have.